Suyosisa Fahita and Halatoa Vailea. Tongan-born Asipele Moalo adds some bulk at number 8, whilst the side is captained by Hisanabo Okayama. So here's the two captains to the right of your picture. Hisanabo Okayama, the captain of the Brave Blossoms, the Japanese under-20 side, and Georgia Lelelos, led out by their inspirational captain, Becca Zachinatsi. Stadium is filling up here because coming up after this game, France will take on New Zealand. But for this one, it's the 9th place semi-final. Scotland into that 9th place final with their defeat of Ireland. And the loser of this, remember, goes into the relegation battle on Sunday. And that loser of that might drop out of the World Rugby Under-20 Championship.
And this game, Scotty, is all about game management and dealing with that pressure, because the pressure only builds if you come out on the wrong end of this result. But both of these teams have shown a willingness to play with ball in hand. Both have impressed me on that front. They've put up a fight within their pool throughout. Japan narrowly being edged out by Wales in the final round of their pool. Georgia turning over the Irish. So this is a big, big match and a fantastic one to be sitting here as a neutral to call.
Well, Georgia have been one of the great stories of World Rugby as they have come through to qualify at senior level for the Rugby World Cup in Japan next year. But standing proud are the two nations of Georgia and Japan alongside each other. So let's pray silence for the national anthems.
Mesdames et messieurs, merci de vous lever pour les hymnes nationaux. Et tout d'abord, en l'honneur de l'équipe de Géorgie, in honor of the Georgian team, Tavisu Pleba. Et maintenant, en l'honneur de l'équipe du Japon, in honor of the Japanese team, Kimi Gayo.
Well, tremendous listening to those anthems, wasn't it? As we look upon the Georgian team once again. Losha Jayani comes in at second row. Baka Natsi. He is the captain of the Keep an eye out for Mama Tavrishvili in the second row, who has moved to number 8, and in the backs, Gela Abrahatsi, wearing that number 9 jersey. He's one of the outstanding players in this under-20s, featuring in his 3rd under-20s World Rugby Under-20 Championship. For Japan, head coach Satoru Endo selects the same side that Nari lost to Wales last week by 17 points to 18. Keep an eye out for the pacing wingers, Sayosi, Fafita and Alatoa Vailaya. Fujiwara at scrum half has a slick service, while up front second row star Kanji Shimakoya has secured more line-out ball in this competition than any other player. The side is captained by Hisanaba Okuyama. So our referee in the middle is Ludovic Kerr, Sean Gallagher on one touch, Andrea Piardi on the other. Our TMO is Philippe Bouher.
Okay.
So anxious faces all round this Georgian team, who beat Ireland by 24 points to 20. Japan without
Captain
a
Blue.
loss, but will take, without a win I should say,
Captain Red.
but will take much heart in their 1-point defeat to Wales by 17 points to 18. Who will go through to the 9th place final? Who will drop down? Let the action unfold. So Georgia in the maroon strips on the right of your picture, kicking off towards Japan, wearing blue. I'm Scott Hastings, your match commentator, alongside me, former Scotland scrum half and captain Rory Lawson. And Rory, what do we expect to see from these two teams?
I expect a little bit of chess at the start of the game, but both sides look to play. Keep an eye out for both defences, though. Line speed is a big factor. A lot of chop tackling. I think the Georgians will look to impart themselves physically on this Japanese side.
Well, Makaladze, he backs a punch wearing that number 8 jersey, but first of all, the ball going through the backs. Siklauri, Georgi Siklauri in the centre. Plenty of endeavour. Rory and I were watching the warm-up of the Georgians on the back pitches earlier on, and they are certainly fired up as Aprasitsi sticks one up the tram lines, fielded on that far wide channel by Fafita. Fafita's done well there, and Japan have got back behind the ball. They've got numbers there from which to set up. Ishida standing in the fly half position, just rolls the ball up. And we're expecting a very disciplined, structured performance from Japan.
Certainly early on, Scott, I think both sides, territory is so important. Both nines, Aprasitse and Fujiwara, with a big part to play.
Abshindatse with length on that kick taken by Yamasawa. His brother is a well-kent face in the senior team. Takayua. But there's an excellent touch find down this far side, so Japan will be grateful for some territory down in the Georgian half.
Yeah, he'll certainly strike a sweeter ball this afternoon, but that one there, finding the field position and finding the touchline and into the first set piece of the game. But Scott, you've already seen the kicking game and the ability for Georgia looking to put Fafita, the left winger for Japan, under pressure. He is so dominant as a carrier. Look to put him under pressure with high balls.
Levan Babidze throws to the back of the line out, and then the scrum half puts plenty height on the ball. Up comes Vailea, and we did identify Fafita and Vailea as real threats in this Japanese side on either wing. Gives them structure. Talking of structure, the ball's up over the halfway line. Ball cut back by Yutomori. Yutomori, the inside centre for Japan. And then that kicking game coming to the fore and pushing back the winger Demo Tablatse, but it's taken instead by the fly half, who finds a lovely touchdown towards the halfway line.
That's a nice exit play. That man in picture there, Mamada, looking to find field position, but really good cover by Tedo Abjandadze, the Georgian fly half. So far, the kicking's been very accurate. Aprasitse is a really classy operator in the number 9 jersey for Georgia. I think he's already had a couple of caps with the senior team. Plays his rugby at Montpellier, and he's back for his 2nd year in this under-20s World Championship.
Here Arai then scored a try against Wales, the Japanese hooker. Finds good ball there. And then off the wing by Leila. Japan up and over the 10-yard line, and Fujiwara the glue between the backs and forwards. What about that for a line from Japan as they keep the front foot attack going? But coming offside, Gogichashvili. There he is. Goram Gogichashvili.
Number 1, not rolling away.
There you go. Referee Ludovic Kerr, very clear on his communication. Number 1,
Captain.
Gogichashvili not rolling away in the tackle, but you look at that line there from Vakalahi, the big centre, beautiful line. It was the 3rd hit up, really direct, one out hitting off Fujiwara, the scrum half, but it got the front foot ball for Japan. They made 18 metres over the gain line. They all started on that halfway line. Look where this penalty kick is now for Yuto Mori, the first opportunity to build points in this match.
And already identified Vakalihi in the centre there, and when you have him rampaging like that with Fafita and Valea on the outside channels, there's real intrigue within this game, because whilst we always look at Georgia as the potential to carry more ball up front, they are equally as attacking in the backs as well. So opening penalty goal on offer here, 5 minutes gone. Japan looking to strike from out, but it's just pushed across that post, and a let-off for Georgia. Aprazidze will just dot that ball down.
Yuto Mori will be disappointed, but just to pick up on what you were saying, Scott,
yeah,
both wingers, Halatoa Vailea and Siosaya Fifita for Japan, big ball carriers, as well as Sioeli Vakalahi in the centre, and also Asipeli Moala, number 8. They're the go forward for Japan, but everyone else works so hard around them.
Vailea then, head down, gets plenty of height on this ball. She's dropping into the 22, well covered though.
Oh, play on, play on.
That's it.
Out.
Straight out on the full,
Yeah,
so Japan will have a put-in on that far side, on the 20, just outside the Georgian 22-metre line.
It was an absolute howitzer of a kick by Vailea, and there's this follow-up tackle. Man, almost got man and ball. It was just on the connection. The Georgian players asking the referee whether it was going to be late, but as it was perfectly challenged on Adzandadze.
Ball taken by Shimokawa. Shimokawa, that's his 20th line-out take. More than anybody else in this tournament.
One stop.
Second row colleague, technically
play
very
number 5.
good here.
Play the ball.
Hashimoto got the ball. Well, the ball was left behind there as Fujiwara trying to go down that blind side. Couldn't find his man on the wing, Fafita.
And you said it, Scott, they are definitely not the biggest pack, this Japanese side, but my goodness, technically they are so good. Body height, looking after possession, building that maul, which has become a real strength of theirs in this tournament so far. And again, just looking to find the big ball carrier off the back of it. Fafita let that one go that time round, but he'll be back for plenty more.
Oh, ball's bumped back into Arai, the hooker who drives up to the 5-metre line, cutting an angle. Moala, the big heavy carry, that's the line just there, they're a metre short. And then there's the prop, Ishida, and it's Japan who's taken the early lead. Goto Ishida.
There we go, and no less than what they deserve, Scott. Coming into the 8th minute, and that man, Gaguto Ishida, dives over for a score. The man from the Senshu University, capitalising. Here it is, the overthrow by Georgia, lost line out, picked up by Arai, good carry. And you look at the men coming in here, big carry from Moala. And once again, it's winger Fafita, look, he actually overruns it. It drags in fly half Abjandadze of the Georgian side. You see the number 10 jersey going around the back of the referee. Ishida as well, gets on the outside shoulder, dives over. first blood to Japan.
Utamori, who missed the earlier penalty, has the chance to extend Japan's lead, which he does with ease. 7 points to 0, Japan. And a great riposte for this Japanese under-20 side.
That's Moala on the carry there. But you actually watch the line here by Fifita. He overruns it. And that drew Ajandadze in and just gave that half-second opportunity in the opening for Ishida. And boy, did he take it well. Big smiles from the big man.
Ajandadze then with the kick-off. It's chased well and it's gathered by the open side flanker, Mama Tavrishvili. Now, another wrecking ball. Jabaradze, the tight head forward, and Georgia, well, plenty of endeavour, but the mistake here, and Japan look to go wide. They've got space out here. This time opting.
Advantage over.
Fakalahi pops the ball out, but there was a chance with ball in hand to attack.
There definitely was, and I think even better chance from just to kick the ball deep and look at the carry here. Number 3 into number 3. Japaridze there on the carry, bouncing through the initial tackle. Just one pass too many, and the runner got a little bit flat to knock on, but transition Japan immediately looking to get on the counter.
Rory, so many of these young boys, they're 19 years of age. They look, well, 29, don't they? Some of them, unbelievable. Their fitness and conditioning is superb, so let's applaud that first and foremost.
Scott, they give you and I the opportunity to say that we're 19 years old, and some people might believe us.
Makaladze at number 8, he drives forward. It's sat well by Japan.
Release.
Ludovic Kavi says release. Ball's coming back. Japaridze with the carry and go, and then he'll be backed up once again by his pack of forwards. Slow and controlled it is. Jalakhonya. Loose pass at the back, and Lowry to the fullback, Mahmoud Ashvili. Good play that's coming in here as the ball's taken on by Jayani.
No, ball is out.
Georgia attacking once again. If they can offload, they've got numbers to the right. They need quick ball. Aprazitsi gets that ball in from the centre. Is Lomitsi. Lasha Lomitsi up to the 5-metre line. Japan come in with the tackles. Good play here from Georgia. They cut an angle here. Shalakhonya. Japaridze. Oh, he's brought down metres short. Tremendous play. The 11th phase. It's wide ball on the outside. Cutting back against the game. But look at Japan. They're flooding the defensive area there. Georgia, well, spurting opportunities on the outside. Once again they go at the line, but look at the tackles that come in from the blue shirts of Japan. Ball at the back.
15 phases, Scott. Japan still getting to their feet so quick. Georgians powerful though.
Once again, a take by Shalakhonya. Ball then into Japaridze. Japaridze for the line! Oh, he's barreled himself over the line. And the delight from the bench shows it all. And Georgia have got one back.
And it's that man there, the tight head prop. My goodness, look at Japaridze. What a score that is. And it came on his 3rd or 4th carry. Within that one phase of play, they must have gone 16 or 17 phases, building possession. The Japanese kept getting to their feet, kept chop tackling. Here he is, look at him, the absolute dump truck, fighting beyond the tackles once again. Quick ball coming out the back, really nice attack there from Lamidze, the inside centre for Georgia. And it was a few phases later, there's a big carry from Jalagonya. And from there, the ball was zipped out from Aparidze. And look at that, look at Japaridze, dives in, and Georgia hit back.
Ilapradzitse as the extras. The conversion is good, and it's all squared here. 7 apiece between Georgia and Japan.
Cracking finish there from the big man. My goodness, he got up again and again into that play. Just look at him there. The little scrum half, Fujiwara, tried to have the shirt off his back, but the big man wasn't having any of it. Drove through. It was a bit of a mismatch. 5'7" and 70 kilos. Shinobu Fujiwara, the scrum half, versus 122 kilos of Japaridze. There was only going to be one winner. It's all square.
Well, he must have put 3 kilograms on since breakfast, because I've got him down as 123 kilograms, Rory.
He had double breakfast and double lunch, Scotty.
A useful player as well, as we've seen, and managed to get himself into that try-scoring position. Tremendous clearance kick. Abshinatsi, there he is, David Abshinatsi. He played all games last year in Georgia for his team. And scored 23 points in South Africa in a warm-up match in Cape Town. Oh, that looked a little bit sore, didn't it?
Yeah, those are the ones that you just want to leave to hit the bollards rather than launching yourself into it.
Player, please.
My goodness, he'll do more damage to others, Fifita, than any side hoarding could do to him.
Well, the mistake off the line out first, so all through the line out throw of Arai. And then the knock-on from that man there. Shimito picks him off from the deck, trying to intercept the pass here from the Georgian scrum half.
Scrum red.
Yeah, good pressure on Aprezidze, the Georgian scrum half. Not what you want to see as a scrum half. You get front ball, and Hashimoto, the big second rower who started all 3 games for Georgia in this tournament, played all but 3 minutes, bearing down on you, no angle to get the pass away. Aprezidze will take that as an opportunity for his pack to build some possession in here in the scrum.
Well, Rory, I can't quite believe it was 3 years ago when we first saw this young scrum half make his debut in Manchester, and he has been absolutely fantastic for his Georgian team. Milton Haig rates him as one of the superstars of Georgian rugby. I mean, we will see him in the colours of the full senior team as they head into the Rugby World Cup in Japan next year.
Yeah, he's a really canny operator, isn't he?
Support your body away, please.
Wouldn't surprise me if Milton Haig had a little quiet word with Vern Cotter at Montpellier and was involved in that move for Jela Aprezidze. He's a really nice little player. He's still probably a little bit lightweight for the very top end at just 74 kilograms, but he's got a cannon of a boot, and he's a very, very good attacking player and key for this Georgian under-20 side this evening.
Body's out.
Big scrum pops out at the back. Japaridze was caught, and then getting back on the interception is good though from the second row, Shimokoya. Georgia though looking to attack from deep. That's the 10-metre line. We've already seen the effective boot of Abshinatsi. Ball bounces awkwardly at the back there for Yamasawa. Did well, didn't he? So Japan, having gathered the ball from Georgia, will then once again have to attack from deep. The Georgians happy to stick with a kicking strategy, and once they get into that territory, if they can regain the ball, they've got some great carriers. Now Japan, accurate, but picked up in the middle there. Ziglauri onto this big number 8 from Georgia. More hands here. Japan though, equally good in the defensive chores.
Yeah, back.
Second row, Shakinatsi. A little bit flat from Georgia, but crossing there. Just a little bit delayed the ball as they hit the running angles.
Yeah, and here referee Ludovic Kerr identifying Arsene Machaladze as running a blocking line that actually put Hisanobu Okayama out of position and he ended up missing the tackle on the ball carrier through the middle there. Sharp refereeing. But just keep an eye out for Kai Yamamoto and Hisanobu Okayama, the number 6 and 7, who in this Japanese side. They're fantastic. Do you see there? There's just a little nudge that just set Okayama off. But those two between them must make 40% of the tackles for this Japanese side. They're both small men to play in the back with 5'8" and 5'6". But my goodness, their technique is brilliant and their energy is unrelenting.
So the show and the goal by Vailea. Off the wing he comes into the midfield, and Yamasawa, he makes good intrusion as well. Tackle was made at the back, Charakonya, but he was rolling away quick enough, was the blind side. Now, attack here for Yamasawa. Oh, the misread from Vailea on the wing, and it's often done, isn't it? No advantage played though. Back for the original infringement, and a chance goes a-begging there for Japan.
Number 6.
It was penalty advantage.
Not moving away.
Fujiwara at scrum half, really sharp on it. Saw Yamasawa running out the back here. This is just the end of it there. Vailea actually went to come on the scissors with his fullback, Kyohei Yamasawa, when it was actually probably on to stay out, but Japan have the penalty, and by the looks of things, Yuto Mori's going to have another shot.
3 points.
The man I'd spoken about just moments ago, Kai Yamamoto, the blindside flanker. Small man, but there you just saw the power of him on the carry. It was his opposite man, Jalakonya, who didn't get out the tackle quick enough and gave Yuto Mori the opportunity for this 3 points.
Yuto Mori then, who converted Ishira's try, he now gets that penalty, so the lead is extended by 10 points to 7 for Japan. That's the first quarter completed.
It's been a fascinating 20 minutes of rugby as well, hasn't it, Scott? Both sides here to play. Real competition at the breakdown. Key ball carriers within both sides are so pivotal to their go forward. But both sides clearly playing within a structure and doing it really well.
Shindatse puts plenty of height on this kick. Ball was fortuitously landed into Yuto Mori's hands, who throws the overhead pass there on to Fafita. Fafita well tackled. Fujiwara in with the slick service. Good play here from Japan. There was a chance to pass that one out from Yamamoto. And then the drive by Moala. Tongan-born Asipele Moala. Now, Mamada finds a bit of room with Yamasawa from full back, and once again we see Fujiwara really sharp on the ball. Fujiwara once again. 8 on 8. Moala tackled by Magalatse. Japan retain the possession, then the grubber kick. What a super kick, just to keep pressure down in the Georgian 22.
Clever stuff from Hiroto Mamada. And you can see the pace that Japan want to play with the carry. There's a big carry from Moala. Such a key man within this Japanese side. But they look for quick ball at ruck, look to beat the defence round the corner, something that Eddie Jones brought in during his time with the senior Japanese side. It's all about speed of ball, outrunning the opposition, using the pace and fitness to beat the opposition.
Good execution from the Georgian team from that line out, and that little knock on there just costing them the possession.
Yeah, knock on, but number 1. Knock on, number 1, red.
Just knocked the ball on there.
Scrum.
Here's another way look at it here.
Yeah, you see, just in the tackle there, Okayama actually oversold himself. Dived at the ankles of Gogichashvili and missed the tackle, but the two men around him managed to get it.
Yeah, you shoulder, please. Same shoulder.
Fantastic attacking platform, right under the sticks, 20 metres out. Attacking options both sides. As a defender here, Aprazidze is so important. The Georgian scrum half looks like he's going to take first man on his right-hand side. Vakalahi, both options for Japan.
Moala in a position to pick and go, and Moala does that. He goes left, runs at the scrum half, who makes his tackle. It was a good one, wasn't it? Japan, though, plenty of endeavour in this attack. Just held off the ground there. Fujiwara. And then Wakalahi in the centre. Good depth that's coming in from the Japanese runners.
Wait.
Yamamoto standing off there, wearing that number 6 jersey. He'll be supported by Tsukiyama. Fujiwara back. Burrows looks for his winger, Fafita. Another big take on by Moala, who was started the movement off the top of the scrum.
No, stay.
Ball's at the back there, 6 metres from the Georgian line.
Stay here,
Japan 10, Georgia 7, 24.5 minutes on the clock, and Japan building their phases of possession.
Aprazidze just had a hold of Fujiwara, the Japanese scrum half. Slowed down the play a little bit without that little man at half-back.
I'm a stream. Go back, please.
It's kind of a little bit slow here, isn't it? And it's a little bit of a honeypot here as they Japan latch on to the ball. They prefer the short angles, I should say. Wakalahi. And again, they come back on that angle, challenging the inside shoulder of the Georgian defence. Wakalahi, he goes again, strong. He's a metre short. The pick-up at the base, offside advantage being played. So Japan with a free ball. There's only got 5 in the outside field, and it's a free kick pass over the top. Oh, spilt on the far side.
No advantage.
Great endeavour there as Vailala tried to climb high to reach the ball, but no advantage had come from the previous infringement.
The crowd enjoyed that one, didn't they? You see Mamada there, out the back. Vailea on the wing. Oh, it's just
one tackle, not
2 inches too high for him to be able to gather that. It would have been a brilliant finish under pressure from Mamukashvili, but as it is, they come back for the penalty. Number 6, Jalachonia, the Georgian blindside offside. Japan going for the scrum. Here's a sign of intent.
Yeah, I see. No incident, I speak to him.
Okay. So Georgia
in the scrum, 3 is coming in.
33 tackles, Japan 36. Japan actually missed 12 tackles, but it's Japan who've had the territory in this match.
Yeah, Japan missed a lot of tackles, and they have done in this tournament so far, but a lot of that comes from their line speed. Their willingness to get off the line, and they trust each other that if someone misses one, they'll have put the man on the ball under enough pressure that someone else will make that tackle. They've missed 1 in 4 so far in this game, but they're leading 10 points to 7.
Well, Japan on the previous scrum had a pick and go from Masipele Moala in that number 8 position. Look at his positioning, left of your screen. He picks once again, and he's going for the line. He invites the tackles coming in from the Georgian fly half, and then once again on the charge, Fafita using the battering ram of Yamamoto. It's very deliberate, it's intent there. They're very well structured and organised, Japan, as they try and threaten this Georgian line once again. Wakalahi. Oh, inside pass from Fujiwara was picked up, and Japan building the phases once again. Another drive for the line. And also Fafita once again. He has the shape of a forward, mind you, the left winger for Japan. And once again, it's just become very, very cluttered. We've got what? We've got 13 Japanese players all within that group there. The camera's catching them well.
Patient build-up from Japan. They're all about just nibbling away at the inches, key ball carriers
Stay back,
coming to
Captain,
the fore.
Fujiwara asked for his prop forward Ishida to go round the left-hand corner.
Release, release.
Fita. Patient from Japan now. There is a bit of space out to the left if they can get it through the hands and release quick ball, but Georgia are adept at just slowing it down, but illegally, says our referee.
No release, you on the ground.
Gogichashvili not releasing on the ground, so he's going to go 10 minutes in the bin. And Japan will keep turning the pressure on here on the Georgians now that they're down to 14 men.
He's pleading innocence, Guram Gogichashvili, but as it is, I'm struggling to find a case for him there. Japan building pressure, 12, 13, 14 faces. It's fairly blunt attack, it's very direct with just key ball carriers. That one there, it was Okayama, the captain. Big tackle, but look at the man lying over the top. There is Gogichashvili, just lying over the top, refusing to release that ball. And it's just an easy penalty and a key yellow card, because Japan now choose to go for the scrum against 7 men of Georgia, or will they? They'll have to bring on another front rower and give up either a back rower or a back, which will create space somewhere.
Number 8.
Just little glimpses of the physicality that the Georgians and the Japanese have brought to this game, and Japan with far more possession, 63% to Georgia's 37. They lead by 10 points to 7. Losubitsis had to come on, and Makaladze has retired to the bench, given that the yellow card is against the Georgian loosehead prop. So Japan, on each of the last 3 scrums, they've picked from Asipele Moala at number 8, Makaladze at number 8. One shot in the back row, and you can just see the move here. Keep an eye on your screen. The number 8 then for Japan. Will he have another pick and go for the Georgian line?
Yeah, for me it's either use Moala on the carry as they have done so far, or use him as a bit of a decoy. Have him carry and offload elsewhere, because he draws in so many defenders that sell themselves on him.
Here we go once again. Extra man. This time it's at the back. It's in control of Japan. They're edging Moala, but it's released inside. Fihita comes from the blindside wing. They're just short. There's bodies all over the place at the bottom of that one. Japan. Space out wide. Long ball. It's into the winger's hand and into the corner. He goes. What a wonderful try. Vailela for Japan. Gets the second. And patient build-up brings its rewards.
And there you go, Georgia gambled on a 7-man scrum, and Japan built the pressure through the scrum. Had Georgia going backwards, the ball came out, but Fujiwara did very well to clean it up, get the ball into Mamada's hands. Here's the phase play here, ball out the back, Mamada to Yutomori. Watch this pass, left hand, beautiful flat ball. And Halatoa Vailea, who scored against Wales in match day 3, has scored again against Georgia.
Yutomori then with the conversion. Nice and accurate from the inside centre. So he extends Japan's lead to 17 points to 7. It's looking good for the Japanese under-20 side.
Yeah, they've come out of the blocks very well. Georgia, just a couple of inaccuracies that have given Japan territory and possession, and when they have that territory and possession, they're so good at looking after ball. They're happy to go 12, 13, 14 faces, just build pressure, and they've had a lot of territory so far.
Well, Georgia have put that one straight out.
Scrum or line out?
So Japan have the option for scrum or liner, and more often or not, you tend to get the scrum on midfield. And remember, Georgia are 1 man down up front.
Very much so, and Abjan Dadze will be kicking himself. He may have had a couple of his forwards give him a little bit of a look to say, come on, sunshine, we've been under the cosh here. Just find a good kick, let us get up there, build pressure. We've only got 14 men, and we've just given away cheap possession to Japan, who have looked dangerous. They're key ball carriers coming up again and again. Vakalahi in the 13 jersey, both wingers. Okayama, Hashimoto in the pack. They've got a lot of options, and their scrum is also very good for the lightest pack in this tournament. They're technically incredibly astute.
So Captain Ishinobu Okayama just suggesting to the referee that where they're scrummaging on that halfway line, it's a bit slippy for his players. So referee Ludovic Kerr just brings the front rows in. Well, certainly Japan have looked sharper with ball in hand.
Yeah, they have done, and as I just touched on after that try, Scott, they don't give up possession cheaply terribly often. I hope I don't act as the commentator's curse here, but they look after ball well. They're very structured, they're very accurate, and they value possession when they have it.
Well, massive scrum from Georgia, just when you were questioning
Number 3
whether Georgia could put some pressure on the Japanese scrum. They do, with only 7 men.
It's a good scrum. It's an area that the Georgians pride themselves on. They've been the senior team historically has been known for having an incredibly strong pack. This under-20 side have a strong pack with an attacking backline with huge amount of ambition. And Abjan Dadze there has found a really good field position for them.
Yeah, the pressure coming in on the scrum, but as Rory said, Abjan Dadze has just absolutely nailed a tremendous kick to the corner to set up a Georgian line out from what? 12 metres from the Japanese line. So ball will be delivered then by Levan Pavadidze. Pavadidze finds his man, then Mama Tavrishvili goes in, and then Jabaridze, Luka Jabaridze starts to drive. The try scorer
number 9, one stop
for Georgia. He's got his mitts, his big mitts on the line. He goes for the line. He's brought down Laprazidze into the second row. Saganidze just a little bit slow, but there's numbers here, and once again Jabaridze, it's head down. There's only one way to the try line from that boy. But holding on, tremendous work over the ball by Japan to force the error.
And there you go, Vailea was dotting down over the Georgian line for a 5-pointer just moments ago. That time round, he was the man to win the penalty at the ruck, getting over the top of Japaridze, who was direct, got half a yard away from his support. And Vailea, strong and quick to get over the top of the ball. And Japan's efforts rewarded with a penalty. 4.5 minutes to go till half-time, and they'll be very keen to continue to look after this lead that they've built so far in the half.
Yeah, Harito Mamada finds a safe touch, and just some treatment on one of the Georgian players in the left-hand bottom of your screen. Here he is, Mama Tavrishvili. Just getting some running repairs to a hand injury, but play on, says referee. And Georgia pinch that one at the back, and knock on through the hands of Kai Yamamoto. This youngster has impressed me off the blindside flanker, hasn't he? He's been sharp off the back of the line out.
He's very sharp. He turns up again and again in possession, and he turns up with chop tackles all day long. There was the steal though. Just slipping through his hands as Yamamoto went for that one, but the Georgian number 6, Jalagonia, He's been a man that's been penalised on a couple of occasions at ruck time, but he's very game. He's a good line-out operator, quick off the line, physical in defence.
Satoru Endo, the head coach of the Japanese side, he'll be pleased with his charges. 1 minute and 45 seconds on the clock for Duram Gogichashvili, the loose head prop. Ball is delivered then by Abrazidze. Abrazidze, the ball at the back. Good scrum once again from the Georgians. Advantage being played. The pick up at the back. The offload to Abrazidze. Oh, he's gone all the way. No, he's given the ball there into the corner. Tabaladze, he goes strong and scores! Demo Tabaladze. And it all stemmed from the Georgian scrum that turned Japan, and Georgia get a try back.
And a killer blow from Georgia. Tapladze, Demur Tapladze, the man to benefit from a powerful scrum, and that pocket of Georgian fans just in front of us in the commentary box here. Delighted. Look at the work rate of the loose head prop. Georgi Notsobidze on the near side here, fighting through. That gave Jalakonya the ball there, who got the ball away to Mamam Tavrishvili. Abrazidze did very well, but my goodness, Tapladze turned Vailea inside out, left-footed step there, left-footed step again to get out of the way of Mamada. Power to get over the line, Georgia hit back.
Well, it is a good try. He scored one against South Africa as well, and plies his trade at the Lelo Saracens club. Gela Abrazidze then with the 2 points on offer for the conversion. So right on the 50-metre line, the junction of the 22-metre line. Concentration personified in that shot there. Lines it up, but he just pulls it across the face of the post. So a 5-point differential. Georgia with 2 tries, Japan with 2 tries.
Yellow card, please.
They've extended their lead. Japan
17.
leading this match by 17 points to 12.
17.
And you can hear the referee
Captain,
calling
17.
Georgi Notsobidze, the man who came on for Gogichashvili. Notsobidze making his way to the touchline, but my goodness, he made a big impact at that last scrum, opening up the blind side for Georgia, and they took it incredibly well. Alongside him, Machaladze comes on as well. Georgia back to 15.
Makaladze wearing that number 8 jersey. He's winning his 14th cap today.
Time on, Philippe, le temps est arrêté encore.
There's that devastating step from Abrazidze. Enterprise from the Georgian scrum half.
Back, please.
Balls at the back. This will be the last play of the second half. If Georgia hang on to the ball for another 50 seconds. Chaparidze then latches onto the ball. He goes once again, and Georgia trying to get ahead of steam into this attack.
Stay back, please.
Abrazidze shaping for a kick. Might have been better hanging on to the ball. Oh! Fifita escapes out the tackle of his Zaganadze, who has been storming down the right wing for Georgia. Gets himself back up.
On the ground before.
Georgia man was over the top, and it looked as though it was that scrum
Number 7
half.
on the ground.
Number 7, Mama Tavrishvili.
Here you go, final opportunity for
7.
Japan.
Time is off.
My goodness, did you see Zaganidze charging down that wing, looking to put Saya Fifita, the big left winger for Japan, under pressure. He was like a one-man missile charging up, but he just mistimed it. Fifita got away. Japan won the penalty. Just playing on the ground, you see it's so clear. Mamam Tavrishvili on the ground. That was the charge there.
Fifita did well, didn't he, for Japan to avoid the exocet, which was Zaganidze. It's been an entertaining half, though. Hope you're enjoying it, wherever you're watching around the world. Japan leading by 17 points to 12. They've been efficient,
No, number
They've
six,
been
number six.
accurate and they've been fast with ball in hand. As Fafita comes in off that left wing, up to the 22. The tackles coming in from the Georgian front row. Clever play by Okuyama. Sets up ball. And then his blindside colleague Yamamoto. Mamada, who's a comfortable player in that 10 channel.
No, wait.
Mori
No,
goes
10,
in to play
finish.
scrum half. So Mori offloads to his outside forwards there. First of all, in the shape of Okuyama. Okuyama makes good ground. Fujiwara to Hashimoto. He's not the biggest second row, but everything that Japan do, they're building the phases.
Play number 9.
Japan through the hands. That'll be the final play of this first half. It has been an entertaining half. Japan scoring 2 tries, a penalty and 2 conversions, to 2 tries and 1 conversion. Confirmation of the halftime score here in this 9th place semi-final is Georgia 12, Japan 17.
The end of the first half-time is 12 for Georgia to 17 for Japan.
Advantage. Advantage. Philippe, regarde juste s'il n'y a pas une obstruction. Ouais, regarde juste l'obstruction. Advantage. Number one, I need a prop, please. Yannick, un pilier, s'il te plaît. Yeah. Release, you on the ground.
On espère que vous faites plaisir dans cette journée, une journée à 3 matchs, 2 matchs pour les classements, notamment le Géorgien où ils vont maintenant, et puis évidemment on se prépare tous avec le retour, hein, vous voyez, des joueurs, vous pouvez voilà, applaudir à nouveau, bouger vos drapeaux et faire la fête avec l'équipe du Géorgien qui est en train de revenir. Les Géorgiens ne doivent pas être très très loin.
Welcome back to the World Rugby Under-20 Championship. We're in the Stade Ami Gérard in Perpignan for the second 9th place semi-final match between Georgia and Japan. At half-time, Japan lead Georgia by 17 points to 12. And as Japan say their half-time prayer of motivation, so Georgia looking to avoid defeat here, which would send them down to the relegation playoff spot against Ireland, who lost earlier on today against Scotland. Plenty of support amongst the fans here in Perpignan. Lots of red and white from both the Georgians and the Japanese supporters. So Japan through Halatoa Vailea will take the kickoff here, wearing their blue jerseys, not their cherry and white, which you would normally associate with Japan. They kick to the left, and Georgia wearing their maroon jerseys. Get play back towards that halfway line. That's the scrum half. Gela Aprazidze. Wonderful little playmaker here. I'm your match commentator, Scott Hastings, alongside me, former Scotland scrum half and captain himself, Rory Lawson. Rory, fascinating first half, Japan leading by 5 points. How do you see the second half unfold?
Yeah, it really was. There are a lot of similarities between this match and the Scotland-Ireland match. Both sides looking for territory early in the first half. Some good tries, but the first score of this second half so important for me.
That man there,
great steal.
Sia Fafita, but he's lost the ball in the contact and the return through the scrum half. Aprazidze. Japan managed to eventually get the ball to the deck. As this Shinibu Fujiwara at scrum half, he's been sharp around the deck. There he goes once again, and back to his fly half, Harito Mamada, who's played very assuredly in the half-back position. Mamukashvili from full-back. That's the halfway line. So what can Georgia piece together in the start of the second half? And what was said by Ilya Mizuritsi, the Georgian coach, to get his team back on track against the Japanese. And Lomidze takes a cut in the midfield. Player down injured for Japan on the other side, and looks like it was Fujiwara. Fujiwara, the scrum half at the top of your picture. He's looks as though he's having to go off the pitch.
Release now, Blue.
Georgia then also down is Valea. So two Japanese players down on the far side of the pitch. And well, Georgia trying to exploit something on this far side. Amshindatse has the ball pitched off him by Esapeli Moala. Tremendous turnover, and a counter-attack is on here for Japan. Slick ball in the hand. Chip through from Yamasawa. Yamasawa kicks the ball on. Yamasawa in for the corner. Oh, wonderful try from Ki Yamasawa. And it all came from a turnover and the ball stolen by Esapeli Moala.
And Esapeli Moala is way back on his side's own 10-metre line. But he is the man who deserves a pat on the back. It's that man, Yamasawa, who finished it off. But here, look at Moala here. There he is on Amshindatse, rips the ball off. And look how quickly Japan are into transition. There's the ball out. Quick hands along from Shimokawa, the second rower. Yamasawa picks his head up, sees there's no one in behind. Sticks his right foot on it again. Bounces up, and he dives over to dot down. Beautiful counter-attack. The most dangerous ball is turnover ball. And Japan look to transition so quickly, they move the target. And Yamasawa, that's a deadly finish in the corner.
What we've enjoyed about this Japanese performance is their slickness with ball in hand. And this man here, Yotomori, he gave a wonderful left-hand pass to create a try for his colleague in the first half, Valea. And on that occasion, a little pass on to Yamasawa, who kicked ahead and scored in the corner. And Japan extend their lead over Georgia by 22 points to 12 with a conversion to come. Silence around the ground. Doesn't quite get through it. Like one of my tee shots off the tee at golf. Itomori jogs back to halfway line, and well, what can Georgia do to respond? And Japan looking good at 22 points to 12. They've had the majority of the possession, 61% possession to Georgia's 39. And well, this man here, Tedo Amshindatse, kicking the ball long, but it just gives free ball for Japan to put the ball downfield. Valea finds a good touch down towards the halfway line.
Yeah, Georgia have to try and find their way back into this game, Scott. They've struggled with their accuracy in and around the set piece, and they've coughed up possession too frequently, which has given them that 39% possession. You see there, They've lost one of their lineouts, albeit Japan have lost two. But they've just been a little bit reckless in possession of the ball. A couple of unclose knock-ons. They just need to be patient in their build-up here.
Well, Georgia showed in the first half, when they do get it right through their pack of forwards, they can pack a punch. As was witnessed in the opening try by Luka Japaritsi. He's the one with that ball in hand, and it's taken on here. A bit slow at the back and a little bit lateral from Georgia. Second row, Shaginiatsi takes the ball on, and it's just not quite as sharp as the Japanese in the attack.
Brazidze looking to force things from scrum half.
Now ball in the hands of Lomitse. Lasha Lomitse in the midfield. He's had some straight running. This is the fullback, Mamukashvili, but he's bundled towards the touchline, and Japan flood the contact, and well, Fafita was in there with the tackle, wasn't he? There he is. This big winger scored a try against Wales. Has played centre against New Zealand and Australia in the pool stages, but on this occasion the wing had his man, but he was joined by Sioli Vakalehi in the midfield as well, and those two wrecking balls managed to bounce the Georgian player into touch.
Yeah, he picked the wrong battle there, didn't he? Heading down the channel of Sayasia Fifita and Sioli Vakalehi, two guard guys built like garden sheds. He went between them and they just picked him up and dumped him into touch. The Japanese defence, though, the line speed that they back, they're two key hunters within that, Yamamoto and Okayama in the 6 and 7 jerseys. And Georgia, as you touched on in commentary, Scotty, just getting a little bit lateral. Started with their captain, Becca Saginadze, going sideways, chopped to the floor, and immediately they were on the back foot.
Yeah,
well, Japan were relegated in 2016, but they won the trophy title in Uruguay in 2017 to regain promotion back into the championship at World Rugby under 20 level. And they'll be desperate. Oh, that looked a little bit sore, didn't it? A flying boot there on
it's okay,
to Ishida, into his face. Quick slug of water, and he'll be back to play. So Japan, if they can keep this, they're into the 9th place playoff final. It'll be Georgia that will drop down to play Ireland if the scores remain with the Georgians losing this match. But there's plenty of time for Georgia to come good, and they've shown with their pack of forwards that with the ball handling ability they can challenge this Japanese team.
No, I see not rolling away. You have no. Yeah, number 5, not rolling away.
Tedo Shinzatse has got a great boot in him this set. Fly half from Georgia. He'll want to get good territory, but he's opted to go for goal. Well, interesting decision there. Pulls them back within one's converted try.
Yeah, and that's the important thing within that. That's a tough one there. You can see Hashimoto, the second rower, his left arm stuck at the bottom of that maul, but 9 times out of 10 the referee is going to give a penalty against you. You've got to make more effort or to get out of there, or ultimately not get in there in the first place, and it's given the opportunity to Gela Aprizadze, who has got an absolute howitzer of a right boot for a little man.
He knocked a few over last year, didn't he, from over the halfway line, so this is easily within his reach. Oh, just shaves the upright and comes back into play. Picked up by Malaya. Malaya up to the 22-metre line, so Japan let off. Aprazidze's kick just short.
We're out! We're out!
And then the clearance kick away from Harito Mamada. Knows that he couldn't clear out, but Mamukashvili, ball in 2 hands, comes down that side of the pitch and is met by Vakalehi. And the tackle stakes from Japan. Georgia, though, retaining the possession. Now, what can they do? Set up here. Abjanadze gets the inside track onto his Gogichashvili. And then the switch play, Aprazadze has a little dig himself. First time we've seen him go. Shalakonya.
No hands, no hands.
Ball at the back lever. Babidze. Makaladze at number 8. Loses the possession. Oh, the error that crept in.
Yeah, the ball and that's
the 5th handling error from the Georgian team.
Time off.
Just as they were starting to build a little bit of momentum. Just see there the fight and the tackle defensively from Shimokawa in the number 4 jersey for Japan, but the ball just knocked on. But Georgia, they'll take a little bit of confidence from that. Managed to get some real go forward. Look at the fight and the collision there. Latching on, driving forward from Saginadze, the captain.
And one of the features, Rory, of this game is Isanabo Okayama goes in for the tackle. Is that the Japanese, as we know, are the smaller side in terms of height and also the lighter side in terms of weight.
Okay.
But the way they collectively work with each other, it's a very disciplined performance, as you would expect from a Japanese team.
Time on.
Yeah, they're very structured. They stick to their shape. They understand what they stand for. They understand
Scrum.
what they believe in and what their coach, Satoru Endo, believes will be their way that they can succeed. And for me, it's a huge factor within that. A lot is made of them being the shortest and lightest squads, but at the same time, they have faith in what they stand for. And at scrum time, they have a 96% success rate.
Bind!
Running repairs then from the Senju University player. Gato Ishida, who scored a try in the first half for Japan. Big battle there with number 8 there. Asipele Moala just escaping the clutches of Gala Abrazitse, the Georgian scrum half. Japan stuck deep in there. 22, looking for the exit through Fujiwara, who throws the ball back to his halfback partner Hirito Mamada, and he finds a touch, but well, they would have preferred a little bit more distance on that kick. But he's played tidily the fly half for Japan.
Yeah, he has. There's some of the rest of the squad watching on. It's very difficult for us to tell from up here in the stand what sort of breeze is blowing, but there aren't any flags around the ground. But earlier on, down on the pitch, it felt like there was a little bit of breeze behind the Japanese side. So theoretically, they are kicking with the wind, and territory is going to be so key, because defensively they've looked solid when they've been inside Georgia's half.
So the try scorer Luka Jabaradze limps off the action. So Georgia trying to drive this one.
One stop.
Azeri Ashvili, Luka Ashvili is on for Japaridze. He is wearing that number 18 jersey with the headband. Over the top he goes, the replacement from Montpellier. Pick and go. Sharakonya takes the ball on. Labaradze finds the steaming winger Zaganidze. Oh, he goes a little chip kick down the side, but it was charged down. Possession coughed up and back into the hands of the Japanese. There was a hint of a gap for Ota Zaganidze down this right wing. Moala, he's carried the ball so well today for Japan, the number 8.
Hasn't he, just one of the key carriers? And it's just the patience in the Japanese exit. They understand they just have to back their defence, back their systems again. Mamada finds the outcome, but here's the opportunity down this right wing for number 11, I think, Zaganadze. But he had to kick it a little bit higher than that to get it past Saya Fafita, his opposite man. Important now for me, Scott, that Georgia come away from this attacking play with something, even if it is a three-pointer.
Levin Babidze, his 3rd season at this level, delivers the ball to another one who's played 3 seasons at this level. The scrum half for Georgia now, the big carry-on from Azariashvili. And Georgia, they've got a chance to get themselves back into this game. Ball in hands, and well, the pass was poor, but it wasn't forward, so Mamukashvili at full-back from the Lelo Saracens club in Kitaisi takes that ball on, and now it's back to the heavy timber. Up the middle they go. Aprozitsi in the position. And then route number 1 for Mama Tavrishvili. His open side flanker. He's played well for Georgia. Some robustious runs. Georgia, well, they're facing a very, very stern Japanese defence.
They are indeed. They're fighting gamely, but just look at the effort of the Japanese players. Firstly at the breakdown, slow it down a little bit, but watch the line speed coming up here together. Oh, opened up though.
Avjanatsi up to the 22-metre line he goes, he bumps and he burrows, he eventually runs into Fifita, who brings him down. Aprozitsi, they can get the ball out here, out wide, onto the winger Chabalatsi, who scored in the second half, sorry. And frustration as Japan get numbers back to bundle the Georgians out in the far touch.
And here was me giving the Japanese defence a tap on the back, but they just didn't work together there. I think it was the tight head prop, Tsukuyama, who was picked off by Teido Ajandadze, the fly half. Went through the gap, got past the first defender there. Yamasawa, and then fought through. It was Fifita that eventually got his hands to. But look at that power there from Vailea, the right winger for Japan, managing to bundle him into touch. And again, Japan breathe once again. They're battering down the hatches, they're scrambling well. But how long can they hold out defensively?
Azariashvili is on the pitch now. As Georgia steal that line out now. 15 minutes left in this intriguing 9th place semi-final. Scotland beating Ireland in the previous match. Remember, the loser of this match will go on to play against Ireland in that relegation playoff game. Nobody really wants to be in that match. Georgia fighting for their lives. It's better ball this time round. Gogishashvili, well, there's a tremendous tackle.
No end.
All right, from Japan was in there.
Offside.
So advantage being played as Azariashvili goes and burrows, and Aprozitsi.
Advantage offside.
Once again, Georgia will throw everything at this Japanese defence, and you can hear the amazing Georgian support. A little grubber kick, but that's been overcooked. It will be well covered by Yamasawa at fullback.
No advantage.
No advantage is accrued though from the earlier infringement.
Avjanadze, I think, knew that there was penalty advantage. Speculatively put a grubber kick through that's worked for them already in this tournament. But there was a big opportunity. It was actually offside. You can see the line speed there coming from Yamamoto in the number 6 jersey, and possibly Mamada in the number 10.
Time off. Number 6.
Too quick to jump the gun.
Kai Yamamoto is going to be replaced by Shota Fukui. So Fukui comes in. He's a pro rugby player with the Ota club, aged 18, just coming onto the pitch as this man departs. This young 18-year-old. And here's another youngster of real promise, 18 as well. So 2 18-year-olds in this Japanese team, showing that the future is bright for Japanese rugby. 35 players for Georgia, incidentally, have graduated onto full international honours. There was a certain Michael Leach who captained Japan over South Africa in the Rugby World Cup in 2015, 18 years after leading his under-20s team in the inaugural tournament in Wales in 2008. Oh, it's just brought down short is Gela Aprozitsi. He went for the line, the quick tap and go. Ball still there, opportunity on the left, but the execution was poor. Down the left-hand side. Was there a hand that came in here? Let's listen in to Ludovic Kerr.
Time off. Just 1 minute, yeah. Time off. Time off, yeah, please.
We have to check it before.
Yeah, but check a potential knock-on on the taker. Yeah. Time off.
So Andrea
TMO.
Piadi on the
Philippe?
far side.
Oui, je t'écoute.
You heard me? We want to control a potential knock-on by a blue player. See if it's a deliberate knock-on or just knock-on.
That's what I was about to say. Was it a deliberate
Oui, donc
knock-on?
on vérifie un éventuel en avant sur la dernière passe.
And the officials just heading into the corner where the big television screen is, down at this near side of the ground.
Ludo, je suis pas sûr qu'il
What
touche
was
le
your
ballon.
first thoughts on that,
Okay,
Roy?
voir s'il touche le ballon.
Well, Ludovic Kerr, but
I want to see
the
if
way
the
he
blue player
questioned
touched
it, he
the ball
said,
or
is
not.
it in the tackle?
Voilà, sur celui-là,
And there you
rien
see
de
it's
clair et évident.
Vilea who's there.
On en a d'autres.
He's going to wrap his arms round in the tackle. It's in the action of making the tackle for me, Scott. I wouldn't say it's a deliberate knock-on. He's zooming in there.
It's so difficult to see if he got to touch the ball, but
see something?
the Georgian players seem to react.
We can see in
Non,
this screen.
nothing. On a vu tous les angles, Ludo.
Okay,
This is
we
super
see all the
slow-mo as well,
angles for
Scott.
you. The number 14
Yes.
never touched the ball.
No, nothing.
No, you can't really determine it, and if there is doubt,
So actually he's saying it's not even a knock-on for this. I think what the TMO Philippe Bonheur is saying is that he doesn't see a connection to the ball. So the
we
pass has just
see all
got
the
to touch.
angle for you, Philippe. The number 14 blue never touched the ball.
Nothing clear and obvious.
Okay,
nothing clear and obvious.
talk just line out.
well, I did say at the time of
Yes.
Line out,
that
blue.
ball being played down the line that I thought it
Yes.
was poor
Okay.
execution from the Georgians, and indeed that seems
Now,
to have been the case.
Anything clear on the picture? The ball, the blue player never touched the ball, so line out. Now,
It's a big call, Scott, but I think it's the right call.
Well, this is
Time
the
out.
first time these two
1
teams have
and
met
3.
in the championship, but they both played each other in the trophy in 2011 and 12.
Number 1
Japan
and number
won
3.
both these matches, so the trophy is the lower competition, the championship, of course, and well, England in the semi-finals up against South Africa. They've been in 5 consecutive finals, England, and here coming on after this will be New Zealand, who are the defending champions. They take on the host France. So a couple of changes for this Japanese team. Yuzuki Yamada is on, and Yuichiro Taniguchi, 16 and 17. Hooker and prop forward accordingly. So, all changed for Japan. Is that Taniguchi, 20 last week. He had a good celebration, we understand. Japan accurate over the top of the line out. And well, we're in the home ground of USAP. Who's that? Perpignan, who got promoted from Pro de Deux up to the top 14, and they'll play in the top 14 in the French League next season. So great delight and fervour for the game of rugby here in the south of France in Perpignan.
Yeah, there's a huge occasion here this evening, Scott. France, the host, taking on New Zealand, the defending champions, and it's going to be a huge game. But before that, this one is still to be settled. Georgia working their way back into this game. They've had a lot of territory so far in this half. And Japan starting to ring the changes. In this tournament, the coaches tend to rotate their squad a lot, try and keep the squad fresh.
Yes.
But the Japanese head coach Satoru Endo kept exactly the same starting 15 for this match as he did match day 3.
Oh, there's something that's been brought to the attention of the referee. Look at this. The player has been rotated round the 90. That's a dangerous tackle.
Sur tête épaule, sans force ni vitesse.
Lifting of the leg, isn't it?
So originally the tackle was good, but Mama Tavrishvili.
Ce sont tous les angles, Lugo.
okay, so you
tipped
see a
around the
tackle by
90,
number 7
so it's
without force
a
and without
dangerous
speed,
tackle.
and the player tomb fall on the ground with their eye on the back.
Yes.
So yellow card for you.
Yes.
That's yellow card
sensible
for you,
play.
Philippe, because
Yes.
without
Sensible
force and
decision.
without speed.
And there you
Okay.
go. The mitigation,
Number 7.
Ludovic Kerr is going to give Mamam Tavrishvili a yellow card, but the mitigation that went his way was without force and without speed.
And high on the back. Agree? There is a tip tackle by number 7, but no speed and no force, and the player falls to the ground with the eye on the back. No, so it's yellow card.
Well, it's hard when you're playing with just 14 men, but
Here?
in the first half, Georgia had to do that when Guram Gogic-Ashvili was sent to the sin bin.
Number 7.
So still just over 20 minutes to go in this clock. The next score for me is absolutely crucial to see who stays and plays Scotland in the 9th place final. The loser will take on Ireland in the relegation playoff match on Sunday.
Isn't it? It's a killer punch for Georgia, who've been camped up in this Japanese half for a lot of the time. There you go, 72% territory in this half for Georgia, but they've actually not managed to build on their score of 12 points at half-time. Japan rewarded for their patience, rewarded for their discipline. There you go, the action areas. Only 1% in Georgia's 22, 13% in total in their half. The rest has been in Japanese half, but now they have 15 men in possession of the ball.
And one of the big impact players for this Japanese team is Fafita, who came in off the left wing there and really made great ground there into the heart of the Georgian defence. And this tidy fly half, Mamada, bundles the ball down while a spill of the ball from Mamukashvili. But a double knock-on.
Red, second blue. Scrum blue.
And the game just slightly lost its momentum from the fluency of the first half.
Red.
Yeah, there were a couple of injuries.
Second blue.
And then a couple of TMO decisions. You see here, Mamukashvili looked like he had done well, but under the pressure of Vailea, knocked the ball on, and it was a second knock on from Japan. But off the back of it, you just look at the ease, Scott, with which Japan have exited. The Georgians gave away that penalty and yellow card with Mamam Tavrishvili going to the sin bin. Japan penalty to touch, big hit up by their left winger Sayosaya Fafita, round the corner, kicking behind, and they've suddenly got a scrum within 40 metres of Georgia's goal line.
So Shinibu Fujiwara from the Tenri University, 173 and 82 kilograms, feeds Vailea from the blind side wing. And then ball taken on by Shimokawa. Shimokawa, this second row player, and the ball was just held at the bottom. So Georgia managing to slow that ball down, and still 7 and a bit minutes left on the yellow card of Mama Tavrishvili.
Yeah, it was Lasha Lamidze, the inside centre, together with Jalachonia, the blindside flanker, so effective within that tackle. The referee called maul. The ball went to ground, and you do not have to roll away, and they win their side a scrum. But again, with 14 men, that's the challenge, a 7-man scrum. They'll look to attack from this, Georgia, I think. Having said that, they're lined up as if it's not their scrum. Lined up very, very flat.
Abjan Nadatsi is outside. Big scrum coming for Japan. Ball picked up at the back, and the attack. Little show and go, and then the offload into Tsukalaori. Oh, but it's a turnover, was it? No. Japan just trying to challenge for the ball at the base there, but
with the feet, number 3.
With the feet, you're not allowed to do that anymore.
It's a wreck, number 13 with the feet.
Oh, you can't kick through. Penalty given against Vakalahi in the number 13 jersey. You're allowed to scoop the ball back with your foot, but you can no longer kick it through. It's a cheap penalty. Opportunity for Georgia to build some territory. And I tell you what, a key man, we've known from the start of this game, a key man within this side is Gela Aprazidze. The scrum half, he's going to have to really run this ship. 14 men, he's looked dangerous around the fringes. He brings players onto the ball nicely. He could well be the spark in getting Georgia back into this match.
Levan Babitse at hooker then. He has experience with Georgia age group level, under 18s. This is 3rd World Rugby under 20s Championship, but he's overcooked that one, and Moala has latched onto it, and look at the force that Japan have brought into that play. Great little ball there from Mamada to the outside channel, and Lahi makes good ground, good fluency amongst this team. And then once again Mamada with a understanding. He wanted a little bit more diagonal on that kick, as Mamukashvili from full-back finds Moala. Moala, where they started this movement with the original charge. Well, there's only one route forward for the Tongan-born Japanese player. First look at Shota Fukui. Good depth here from Mori. Once again,
release now.
Lasha Lumitsi in the centre for Georgia, making life difficult, and Japan just, well, it's another unforced error.
Knock on blue. Scrum, red.
And it all came from a bit of pressure in the tackle at the breakdown. If I was Shinobu Fujiwara, I'd maybe have a little word to the referee. Get out my way, sir.
Okay, thanks.
He was quite close to that ruck. The ball came out, and I don't think he was expecting it. He shot the pass at Fukui, and he just couldn't gather it to go forward. Once again, Georgia coming into the last 15 minutes of this match. Only 10-point deficit, but they want to get themselves within a score.
Yeah, you really feel as if Georgia did get the next score, the wind in their sail may actually inspire them to an incredible closing finish. But Japan, well, they've not had as much territory in the second half as they did in the first half. They controlled the game so well.
There's the power of the Georgian scrum.
And straight away the ball given to Tedo Abshinatse. He's got a big boot in him. He'll want to get some territory right down in the Japanese half, and he's found a tremendous touch. What a fillip that will be to his 8 forwards.
Brilliant kick, and there's your reward, forwards. 7 forwards driving through. There is Mamam Tavrishvili on the bench, having to watch on for another 3 minutes. But my goodness, they've got a great attacking platform. That was a brilliant kick by Abjan Dadzi.
So once again, Pabitse, he overthrew the last one. Can he make this one? He needs a little bit more accuracy, so he goes to his 2. Abshindatse. Now, what can Georgia build from this? We've seen how good the line speed is from Japan as they come up in numbers to put pressure on the Georgian fly half. Aprazidze in at scrum half. There he goes, little snipe round the side, gets the pass in, but it's not collected. No advantage being played there.
Off feet.
And you have a feeling that Georgia will kick to the left-hand corner.
Yeah, I thought they might go for post here, Scotty, but they feel the momentum's with them. 3 points would have brought them back within that one score. But as it is, very clear, going for the corner. You see here, always very sprightly Abrazidze. He knew the penalty advantage was coming. Miyu Arai was off his feet at the ruck, but look at this attacking platform now for Georgia.
Well, Lasha Jayani, the Exeter University student, has played well. As Luka Gelashvili comes on in his replacement, wearing the 19 jersey. But Tangiz Zamtaratsi at hooker. Sorry, 11. Pabitse at hooker, sorry. He'll have this one at the line out. Throws to the front, little enterprise from the Georgians as they drive towards the line now. Can the Georgians' weight and power drive over? But they sealed off possession and hanging on.
14 on his feet, never release the ball.
Halatoa Vailea, take a bow. He had a penalty that he won at the ruck time on the turnover in the first half. He's got no right to be in there as your right winger. In off a maul, a silly play. As it is, he's straight over the top of Arsen Machaladze. Hands on the ball, doesn't have to release. The Georgian players didn't clear him. And he wins his side a penalty, and it's a little bit of a sclaff. by Hiroto Mamada, but he's found his touch.
Gita Ishida, who has been in the wars, got a try for Japan earlier on from the Senju University, and Japan had managed to relieve some territory, I should say. Well, it's first error, I think, from Japan at the line out.
Captain, line out or scrum?
There you go, there's only going to be one decision, isn't there, Scott, after the last 7-man scrum that got them 40 metres with a kick from Ajan Dadze. Just not quite straight.
Number 1 and 2.
It hit Fukui, the intended target.
Well, Rory, I was about to say, the man coming on the win, that number 17 jersey, I'm surprised he's not been on earlier. Georgi, I should say, Natsubutse. So 3 changes up front. 17, 16 and 20, so Gigolashvili.
It's okay, Yannick?
He's on. Natsubutse is on. And extra power from the Georgians in Zamdaritse. And replacement hooker on for Levan Pabitse. So fresh legs for Georgia. Watch this. Will it make a difference in this scrum? I think it will.
Well, there are some areas that you sometimes question depth at under 20s level or even senior level. Front row is not an area that the junior Lilos struggle for depth.
Set.
There's the power that's coming on. But it's scrappy at the back, and Jalikonia has to release ball, and then in the wide outside channel, it got into the hands of Majanishvili, who kicks ahead. The bouncing ball picked up there by Okiyama, the captain, but no advantage accrued from the penalty infringement at the scrum. So referee Ludovic Kay goes all the way back.
Yeah, he's going to have a word here.
Be careful on scrum, too many mistakes. Stay straight, please. Yeah.
Very clear, stay straight, because that's one thing there that the Georgian pack, they were very square throughout. They brought the power on. You look at this one here, Fifita. Mamukishvili was a little bit slow to his feet here. He was fully committed to the tackle there.
Well, Georgia now with 10 minutes to go. It's you really feel they're going to score in the next couple of minutes, and they've got the squeeze on Japan, but Japan have been relentless in their defensive chores. So Zamtaratsi gets the line-out throw to the back. Shelakonya, and the drive on from Japan. They've got the momentum. They're 5 meters short. There's another ball on the pitch, but the ball that counts is right there. Penalty again.
Number 20
Japan
blue.
must be careful because they've conceded quite a few penalties. 2 meters, 1 meter, reaching for the line. Georgia are just short. Habrazidze threw it out the back to Zamtaratsi.
Advantage.
Habrazidze is at the scrum half once again, and well, he goes for his fly half. He's just brought down, just short of the ball. Mamada with a tackle for Japan. Georgia peppering the Japanese line. The ridge is short. Georgia trying to close the gap. Habrazidze, he got the loose ball there. Picked up really well, wasn't it, by Majanishvili. The 9th phase of play just coming up.
Always advantage, number 20 blue.
There's men over if they can get it wide. They've got numbers over the overhead pass on the far outside, coming back, cutting against the green. Tabelatse for the line. He's over for his second try. Dimo Tabelatse, and Georgia are within touching distance of Japan.
Yeah, Philippe. Just here more. 20 blue call up the ball, and I want to review a potential high tackle on the try.
So here we go, there's no question that the try's been given. Tabladze goes in and look at him, coming against the grain. Big tuck under the left arm. Stop me if you can. The Japanese defence, oh, I think he's looking at Fujiwara on the high shot there. The little scrum half, desperate.
Yeah.
That's what he's looking at with the TMO.
Oh, wait.
Aprazidze is being told to wait. He's standing, he's already lined the kick up. But this is an interesting look here for Ludovic Kerr.
Ça arrive, Ludo, ça arrive. Voilà, tu l'as là. Au plaquage haut du 9. Il attrape au-dessus de l'épaule avec son bras droit.
Okay, so for me, repetition of infringement, 9 and 20, so yellow card. Agree?
Yes.
Well, if this is 2 yellow cards, just one.
Time on.
So Fujiwara heads to the bin. It looks as though he will play no further action. The conversion is good from Gela Aprazidze. And we have game on here between Georgia and Japan. 3 points the differential.
Haven't we just? Brilliant finish from Tapladze. But my goodness, this is set up for a cracking finish. 8 minutes to go, 3-point ball game.
Well, Rory, we said that the next score was going to be crucial, and if it was Georgia who were going to get it, they were going to have a sniff of victory. Japan have been clinging on in the second half. They had the ascendancy in the first half.
We saw it with Ireland, Scotland as well. The Irish scrum half being sin-binned. Fujiwara, such a key component within the Japanese side. So now, with 14 men, who's going to run their game? Oh, what a kick that is!
Well, Gela Aprazidze has laid a monster kick down there. It's gone out. And Japan will have a line out on their 22-metre line. Drama here at the Stade Émile Giral as the game is teeters on a knife edge.
I said that Aprazidze would have a big say within this final quarter, and there, just with a big old boot, just touched the line there. It actually bounced back in field at that stage and trundled along without hitting the whitewash again, but it did find touch.
Taniguchi finds his man, and well, fly half Arito Hamamada's had to come into play scrum half.
Outside chin.
Japan bounced the ball into the touch. If it gone straight out, it would have meant that play would have gone back to the 22-metre line. So good understanding there from Japan to bounce the ball in from Hiei Yamasawa.
You can immediately see, though, Mamada having to play scrum half. He's been the kicker all day in clearing plays. That time it was Kodama who managed to find a touch, but he'll certainly strike a better ball than he did just there. Oh, it's not straight.
Same like here.
Well, Tanguy's Zamdaradze, the replacement hooker, misfired the darts on that occasion. Hands possession back to Japan. Oh, it's sitting on a knife edge, this one. Japan clinging on.
It really is, Scott. And the inaccuracies, Georgia will be kicking themselves and really hoping that this doesn't work against them.
Rory, just looking at the stats here, Japan have missed 31 tackles.
They've kept their hit rate pretty similar all game, haven't they? Missed 31 of 117.
Yeah, the graphic that came out was slightly different to what we're also getting in our stat box here.
No, both here. Both. Please stay high.
So nervousness on the faces of the Japanese bench. They've given their all, haven't they? Both these teams have given their all, fighting for their lives. Remember, the loser of this 9th place semi-final will drop down to play Ireland in the relegation playoff match on Sunday. Nobody really wants to be there.
Bye.
Japan have been through the mill, having been relegated there back in 2016. They don't want to do that again, but Georgia with a massive scrum. The pick-up at the back. Arsene, Achaladze, the inside pass, Abshinadze, In goes Abrazidze. Coming back against the rain as he's done so much. Lomidze in the centre. Deliberate ball now. Utsubidze wearing that distinctive head guard. And you just feel that Georgia are happy enough to play the phases and to take it through the heavy timber. Abzhanadze gets the overhead pass on to Majanishvili. This winger is brought down just short of the 22. Again, Japan, their line speed is quick. But Georgia retaining the possession. The offload is made. Numbers out wide as the ball goes to the far side, but Mamuashvili, ball picked up by Demur Tabulatsi, who scored two tries in this game. Georgia ringing the phases together. And a little dart and goal by Abzhanadze. Up to the 22, he's gone himself as he gets the offload. Georgia inches short through Gelashvili. There's numbers to the right. The little dive and goal by Gela Abrazidze. Unbelievable. The most experienced player in the team, the scrum half, comes back to bring Georgia into the lead with just minutes left on the clock.
Incredible scene, Scotty. There's pandemonium on the Georgian bench. There's pandemonium in a small pocket of Georgian fans. In a 20-man hug right in front of us. There it was, the break by Abzhanadze. And look how well he did to get the offload away. There's the offload off the back of it. Quick ball and Abrazidze, look at the dummy. There you go. All day long, Shota Fukui bought the dummy. And Abrazidze dives over to score. And Georgia have won this game from nowhere.
Well, a historic victory potentially being made here in Perpignan. They've only had 3 wins, Italy in 2016, Argentina in 2017, and Ireland last week. What a turnaround for this Georgian team. They've come from behind. They lead by 24 points to 22. How costly is that misconversion, because it still gives Japan a chance at a penalty, but a wonderful try set up by Tedo Abzhanadze.
Yeah, a fantastic break, brilliant support from Gelashvili, and look at that dummy from Abrazidze, the most experienced man within this squad, diving over. Japan, one final throw at the dice with a minute to go.
Well, the joy on the faces of these Georgian players, they can touch victory. The mistake by Japan. And look at the clock as it winds down, 40 seconds. How have Georgia come back to win this game? They've shown belief, they've shown passion, they've shown strength, and they've shown class through that man there. The scrum half, Gela Abrazidze, with a wonderful solo effort down the right-hand side.
I'll tell you what else they've shown, Scott. They've shown an ability to dominate a scrum that wins penalties, gets you field position, and off the back of that, they've built pressure and they've spent a lot of time, almost 70% of this second half within the Japanese half, and I have no doubt in my mind that there'll be one thing that happens here. Georgia scrum, driving, looking for the penalty to see this game off.
Well, Georgia just have to be clever here. The ball taken on. You would have thought it would have been given away, but there's plenty more running. Ball ricochets, and it's one last chance for Japan. Georgia, why didn't they put the ball out?
Wait.
So excitement here goes through the red. Watch the clock, because Japan are going to go the distance. They need a penalty or a try to win the game, Japan.
Wait.
The brave blossoms at under 20 level. What can they do to splinter this Georgian defence. It's all about discipline now for Japan.
They're struggling for shape without Shinobu Fujiwara, their scrum half still in the sin bin.
Galahi. They're looking to have to create some magic. Yamasawa standing back in the pivotal position. Here we go, Yamasawa. He says to Mamada, feed the forwards, keep the ball going. Little step and go now for Kui. And this is looking tough for Japan.
They need a penalty from me. Penalty gets Fujiwara back on the pitch and then back to 15, but they have to be patient, they have to be accurate.
Well, exciting stuff coming here. Kui takes the ball into the contact. Now Georgia have held this one up. This is the match for Georgia. If they can keep this one up, they'll win the game. It looks as though they're going to do that. They've held the Japanese player up. Sheer delight from Georgia. The final whistle goes from Ludovic here, and history once again has been created. A second win in this World Rugby Under-20 Championships for this passionate Georgian team. Final confirmation of the score, Georgia 24, Japan 22. Georgia will go through to take on Scotland in the 9th place position, and it'll be Japan that will drop down to play a relegation match against Ireland on Sunday. Well, Rory, what a match we had there.
What a brilliant game of rugby, Scott. Joy for the Georgians, devastation for this brave Japanese side. But my goodness, the Georgians just stayed in the fight. They were right under the cosh at 17-7 down, and then again at 22-12. But the power of their forwards brought them back into the game. They had the territory, they built pressure, and they eventually found the quality to see them over the line and get them back into the game, and they finished with a flourish against 14 men. And they go on to the 9th place playoff, while Japan go down to challenge against Ireland in that relegation match. What an epic game.
What an epic game, and Fafita Vailela as well looks on, but it's sheer delight for the Georgians. Despair for Japan, but true sportsmanship from both these teams. Just confirmation then of the final score is Georgia 24, Japan 22. So we're just waiting for the Georgian captain to head over to Carl Tanana to express what it means for his side to avoid dropping down to that relegation match as Pika Sahin Natsi heads towards the interview board. Sheer delight, and you can see the joy in the faces of these young Georgians. And the Georgian support just pleased as punch for their team. Sheer delight for Ilya Muzieridze, the coach who had 21 caps for his country. He's absolutely delighted, and well, nobody wants to leave the celebrations, I'm afraid, so Carl Tanana is left down pitch side, still waiting to speak to the captain. But we'll have a reaction from Hisanobu Okayama first of all. No, we're going to have the Exeter University student Lasha Jayani, who's going to go in and speak with Carl Tanana. Over to you, Carl.
Last time I spoke to you, beat Ireland. This time your second win against Japan. Just talk me through that second half. How did you make the comeback?
Oh yeah, in the second half we went in the change room and we said that we're gonna keep ramping up the pressure, and in the end it totally worked out. We had 2 yellow cards, which was very difficult in the match, but we worked through it, and I have to thank the boys for their willpower and just fighting to the end, that fighting spirit. Yeah.
Now just tell me, how tough was this Japanese team?
The Japanese team was very tough, very clinical, very disciplined, and very good team. I guess it was a very tough match. I have to say, I guess one of the toughest matches we've had yet. And I have to give my full respects to the Japanese side.
For you, what does this mean for Georgian Rugby and your under-20 program?
This is huge for Georgian Rugby because we had never won 2 matches in the history we've been in this World Cup. We've also kept our place in this World Cup for a 4th consecutive year, which is huge, and this will mean a lot for the people back home.
You got that smile on your face, you won't be wiping that off tonight. Go and enjoy.
Thank you.
Well, lovely words there from the second row, Lasha Jayani. Very complimentary towards Japan, and Hisanabu Okayama is with Carlton Anna.
Well, I know a very difficult situation with the loss, but I mean, how's the experience been for this Japanese side?
本当に大変でしたが、今までの経験はどうですか？今までの経験はどうですか？
まあそのジャパンとしては自陣でそのディシプリンを守れず反則が多かったんで、ちょっとその部分でちょっと向こうに、その勢いを持っていかれたかなっていうのと、まあ敵陣に入れなかったところで、まあジャパンとしてのアタックがちょっとできなかったので、そこがちょっと敗因やと思ってます。
So although we played well, I think there was too many penalties and that let us down. We also found it difficult to get into the opponent's half, and that made it difficult for us to attack.
What do you think you'll take back to Japan after playing this tournament?
この大会が終わったら、日本に持って帰るものは何ですか？
まあまだあと1試合残ってるんで、まあそこでまず勝って、まあ次につなげるように、今この経験を次につなげれるように、まず1勝勝って、次の試合勝って残したいと思います。次の世代に残したいと思ってます。
So first we're going to move to the next match and win that. And then we're going to try to make this experience connect to the next tournament and bring this experience with us into the future.
Domo arigato. Arigato.
Thank you.
Well, from the despair of the Japanese to the absolute delight of the Georgians, look what it means for them to win 2 games in this World Rugby Under-20 Championship. They'll head into the 9th place final against Scotland. The final score here, confirmation that Georgia won an absolute thriller by 24 points to Japan's 22.
Get it!